you know what Bitcoin is? Do you have any? Maybe you know somebody who does. Well, stay tuned and we are going to explore the world of cryptocurrency together. Hello everyone, welcome back to Illumination English. I'm Leah, and this is my channel, Learning English with Leah. Today we are going to look at an article called Comprehending Cryptocurrencies. If you don't know anything about this kind of cyber money, don't worry, we're going to learn together. Let me remind you before we get into the lesson that each of these video lessons is broken up into 3 sections. In the first section, we focus on pronunciation, reading an article out loud, focusing on clear speech. In part 2, we look at the vocabulary more in depth. We look at the definitions and how they're used in sentences. In part 3, it's a kind of knowledge check or a maybe self-quiz, you could say, just to see how much you've retained. Remember, these lessons are for non-native English speakers, so take that for what it is. And I'd also like to remind you that if you like these videos and if you see any value in them, to please consider subscribing to my channel, giving me a thumbs up, sharing the video would be great, and if you could please watch to the end. I need more viewing hours and more subscribers to be able to monetize my channel. So I'd appreciate any help you can give me in that area. And now, without further ado, let's jump into our lesson on comprehending cryptocurrency. Now, before we get into our reading of the article called Comprehending Cryptocurrency, let me just remind you that this first part of this video lesson focuses on pronunciation mainly. So you listen to me first, and then you go back to the beginning of the video, and you watch again and read along with me. Okay, so listening for how I phrase things using speed, rhythm, where my voice goes up or down, where it gets louder, softer, right? The pitch, where it goes up in pitch or down. Okay, and you want to try to imitate what you hear. So go back as many times as you need to. Go as slow as you need to. Adjust the speed settings on the YouTube playback rather, and read along with me until you can get it up to speed. You can also use this part 1 for listening practice by starting the video feed in one tab on your browser and then opening up another tab. And maybe you want to have just a blank document open where you can type words or phrases that you hear. You can kind of test yourself in that way. So 2 different things you can do with this. Now let's jump into our reading on comprehending cryptocurrency. And let me get my pointer here. All right, we can see our target vocabulary here. And I've got this now separated into 2 pages. So you'll notice that I made the video feed larger on the side, and I also enlarged the size of the text, making 2 different slides out of that. Hopefully it'll be easier for you to read that way. Let's go back to the beginning. All right, we are going to start here. Read through, listening first, and second time, read along with me. Cryptocurrency has certainly transformed the global monetary landscape since its invention in 2008 by Satoshi Nakamoto. Its application at present is limited to the world of finance, trading, and e-commerce, but its acceptance as a legal tender is on the horizon. Now, just in case you're in the dark about cryptocurrency, it's basically a virtual or digital currency. Crypto comes from the word cryptography, which is a kind of code language used for top secret communication. And currency refers to money. While some are skeptical about cryptocurrency because it's hard to understand and it has been connected with criminal activity, others praise it as a panacea for the world's economic troubles and envision it as a futuristic one-world currency. Could cryptocurrency someday replace cash or other traditional forms of payment? Proponents say yes. In fact, Deutsche Bank predicts that cryptocurrency will replace cash by 2030 because the forces that hold the fiat money system together are unstable. However, cryptocurrencies must first become more mainstream to the general public and legitimate in the eyes of governments and regulators. Relatively few individuals can grasp the concept of blockchain technology, let alone the complexities of finding, buying, or exchanging these digital currencies. Still, we should keep in mind that resistance is always the first reaction towards new technology. You may be surprised to learn that electricity, cars, and the internet were initially scoffed at by the general public. And that's our reading for this first part of the lesson. I hope you enjoyed that and learned a lot in the process. We'll see you in part 2, where we're going to be looking more in depth at these highlighted target vocabulary words. So see you there in part 2.